spectacular.
Hello, Governor.
Look at that sky. That is Bear Lake. Well, hi there. Despite a scary weather forecast, I drove to Lake Superior's North Shore in northern Minnesota for a hike that started north of Tettegouche State Park and followed the trail 40 miles south through Split Rock State Park and ending at Gooseberry Falls State Park.
The North Shore will get more. They will get anywhere between 4 to 6 inches of snow. Some of the upper elevations near Lutzen could get more than that. So they went ahead and put a winter storm warning out. And again, it'll be melting soon, but it's still the basic winter on the North Shore.
Hey everybody, almost with Midwest Backpacker. It is the middle of May. It is a Thursday afternoon. I am on the North Shore. Doesn't get any better than that. However, before I can go hiking out on the Spear Hiking Trail, I have a work meeting. A short meeting to check out a site up here. Schedule it on purpose for this afternoon, and then I'm going to go hiking, and I have tomorrow off. Looking forward to it. This will be my first adventure out on the Spear Hiking Trail this season. The only problem is it's the middle of May, and last night it snowed 10 inches on the North Shore. Now it is 44 degrees outside, and it should be in the 50s tomorrow. So that snow's going to be melting, but with the melt, Spear Hiking Trail in May, it's going to be muddy, which should be fun for you. Work is done. I'm on the shores of Lake Superior. It is a beautiful afternoon. The rain is cleared, the sun is out. Let's go have some fun. Day one started with a dinner hike from the Highway 1 trailhead south past Baptism River High Falls to Tettegouche State Park to camp for the night. Back on the Superior Hiking Trail, I'm at the Highway 1 trailhead. I have 1.1 miles to get to the Baptism High Falls and about a half a mile to get to the campsite. It's super muddy. And it's about dinner time, so let's go. Anytime you come out early in the season, May, on the Superior Hiking Trail, you're going to expect to see a lot of tree falls, where trees have fallen across the trail. Trail maintenance hasn't been out to clean them up yet, so just plan for that. As well as, more than usual, our good old friend, Mr. Mud. At the campsite, it's 9:30 at night, which is way past hiker midnight. I'm here with Krusty. See if I can aim this right. There he is. There he is. How's that light?
How's that smoke?
Krusty made us some delicious steaks for dinner on the fire, and they were not crusty. But yeah, so we're gonna go to bed here a little bit, pack up in the morning, hike about 15 miles tomorrow, and it should be fun. Day 2, Krusty and I walked 15 miles from Tettegouche State Park south and past the Drainpipe, Mount Trudee, Round Mountain, and Beat and Bear Lakes. We set up camp for the night at Beaver River.
Back on trail, man. Shit.
All right, it's about 7:30 in the morning. We're here at Tettegouche State Park. We have about 15 miles to cover today. How you feel about that, Krusty?
Doesn't matter how I feel, it's got to be done.
Get her done.
This sucks.
Well, I made it to the infamous drain pipe. The drain pipe, if you're unfamiliar, is a very steep section of trail. It's hard to capture how steep it is on video, but within the last year or so, they built stairs on the drain pipe instead of climbing up the rocks due to erosion. And a lot of people were upset about that because I don't know why they're upset. There's stairs, dude. All right. You're gonna do the drain pipe with me. If I don't fall on my butt, going up these rocks here. A little bit of snow. You know, there isn't that 9 inches of snow that I talked about yesterday. Duluth, I saw last night, did get the biggest snowfall ever in May, about 11 inches. So, ooh, buddy, here's the drain pipe. Stairs. So this part of the trail is one of the hillier sections of the Superior Hiking Trail. So there are a lot of ups and downs, lots of hills, lots of valleys, lots of mud. So why do I pick this section? Because when you have those ups and downs, you get awesome views. As you can see behind me, we just climbed the drain pipe. And it is pretty spectacular.
My butthole itches and I have crabs. Sorry.
As you can see, the Superior Hiking Trail has decided to put in recliners on the hiking trail. It's a beautiful day out. So as you can see, we've hit some snow. You know, it's just the recent wet, light snow. It's not the hard, crusty stuff, but it's pretty crazy that, you know, we probably just went up 300 feet in elevation. And that difference was enough to have the snow on the ground versus no snow and mud. And as I told Krusty, we've been walking through a lot of mud. The snow is definitely better than mud. Well, I made it to the top of Mount Trudee. It's quite windy up here, but it's beautiful. Look at that sky. You can actually see the snow that we've been hiking through. So it's not real deep snow. But coming out the mountain here, it was a little hairy going up that climb. So a lot of areas in the spring, the trail just becomes the creek. The trail is the easiest way for the water to drain, so you just suck it up and go with it. came to one of my favorite spots on the trail. That is Bear Lake. In the background you can see Bing Lake. So it's quite overcast right now, but it's pretty cool when you're up here and it's sunny. You can see the clouds go across the lake here. It's pretty cool at sunset. There's a little campsite down below here. The campsite is right down here. Interesting perspective this time of year where you can see through the trees. The campsite's right on the edge of the lake down there, and there's a porta potty up in the woods here that I was looking for. I haven't been able to spot it yet though. I'm now hiking on one of my favorite parts of the trail. It's along Bean Lake here, where for a couple hundred yards you're just walking along this cliff overlooking the lake. We're getting closer and closer to Silver Bay. As you can see over there, there's a water tower. If you peek down towards the lake, you can see the mine and working along the lake there. So my guess is we've probably got about 10 more minutes of walking until we hit Penn Boulevard. Well, I made it to Penn Boulevard. This last stretch was super muddy. A little bit faster than Krusty, so I'm just waiting up here till he catches up. Beautiful view of Lake Superior down that way. You can see from the sign behind me, it's 4.7 miles to the Beaver Bay trailhead. The campsite that we're going to is probably 3/4 of a mile before that, so we got about 3.5 miles to go to our campsite. We text with Mule and his friend who are coming tonight. They'll be here super late, probably after we're asleep. Phoenix decided not to come. So the sun came out and it's beautiful out here, but I can't wait to get to the campsite. Take off these wet, muddy shoes, relax a little bit. Had a nice little rest sitting up on the cliff doing that time lapse of the sky, but it's really beautiful up here. There's Lake Superior down there. Clear day, a little chilly, a little windy. Awesome. Good day, mate.
Hello, governor. What brings you around these spots today?
I was hoping you'd have a little shrimp on the barbie.
A little shrimp on the barbie. Got none of those, mate.
Holy crap. It's a big, old, beautiful world. Well, we made it to the Beaver River campsite. The Beaver River is raging. So it should be some good white noise while we're sleeping tonight. Lots of trees for hanging hammocks. Alright, I'm going to give you a little tour of the campsite. There's the Beaver River raging with Rob filtering his water. Quite loud down here with that water flowing. You can see our campsite is right up here. You can see fire ring here. And Rob has his hammock and rainfly set up over here. I'm up in the woods. If our rainflies look similar, it's because they're exactly the same. Rob bought his, I liked it, so I bought the same one. So my hammock is under here. You can see the blue Borrtex Ridge Runner, which is new to me this season. Good shot here of the spreader bar, which makes it a bridge hammock. And you can see the bug fly and my top quilt inside there. But and you can see my new under quilt underneath there. Both 20-degree quilts tonight. It's only going to get down to about 35, but it should keep me warm. So reason I had to get a new rain fly is with a bridge hammock, you have these spreader poles, right? And you can see there's a line that comes up on both sides of the hammock. And if you have a 11-foot rain fly, there isn't enough room for the suspension. So this is a 13-foot mountain fly from War Bonnet. And you can see on the end here that the doors don't go down all the way to the ground. And actually, that door, the rope came off. Let me show you over here the way it's supposed to be. You can see it's just a partial door that'll protect you from some of the wind and some of the rain, but it doesn't go all the way down. So you have a little bit of weight savings, as well as it's a little bit easier to get in and out. So I haven't taken my wet shoes off, so that's the next thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to head down by the river and filter some water and just chill out. It's about 9 p.m. Well past hiker midnight. I'm in my hammock, nice and warm in my quilts. Cass did show up. Rob was helping her set up her hammock. Mule and his friend are showing up probably an hour and a half, pretty late here, so I just decided to climb in my hammock, stay warm, maybe go to bed a little early. Good morning, sunshines. Day 3, I hiked 16 miles from Beaver River and past Fault Line Ridge and Chapin's Ridge. The Split Rock River Bridge was washed out and the river was too high for a wet crossing, so I headed up the south side of the river to camp. Bye guys! Slept in a little this morning. It's a little cold. took me a little time to get motivated to put on those wet, cold socks and shoes this morning. But I'm going to be hiking mostly solo today. Phoenix got a flat tire on the way up, so Krusty's going to help her this morning to get that tire fixed. Mule and his friend got in real late last night, probably 10:30, 11 o'clock, and are sleeping in. So the plan is for all of us to meet down at the Split Rock River campsites. I'm not exactly sure how many miles I have to do today. I think it's 11 miles down to the Split Rock River. But then after I get to the river, I gotta hike down towards the highway and go back around and go back up the river, because the Split Rock River bridge has been out for a couple years now and hasn't been rebuilt. And this early in the spring, as you could see from the river behind me, that river will be gushing and impossible to do a wet crossing. So yeah, kind of looking forward to hiking solo. Could spend a little bit more time shooting some video and just some quiet time to be alone. I've been walking for probably about a mile or so along this ridge where it just has some great views of a valley over here. Just looking across the valley is beautiful. And now I've come to this pond. Here you can see a beautiful pond down there. And oh yeah, there's a little bit bigger pond in the background there. Okay, I've got down to that pond and there's a little bit of a problem here. You got your logs to walk out on there. And then there's a bridge that's just floating in the water, and it looks like there's a log on the other side of it when the water was lower that people were going across on that log. So I have a choice here. I can go in and it's probably knee-deep water and walk across. Thanks to our beaver friend here. Or, looks like there's a couple down trees right there. I'm gonna try that route. Hopefully I don't fall in the drink. Well, hi there. Just stopped at the Beaver Pond campsite to use the latrine. All right, I made it to Christmas Tree Ridge. It's about 2 o'clock. I haven't eaten lunch yet. I gotta slow my roll. I'm on vacation. Gonna relax here. This beautiful inland view. Lake Superior's over there. Time for some tuna creation. There are definitely a lot of trees down on the trail. You know, I don't know what it's like most springs, but there are a lot of trees down now, and I don't expect trail maintenance to have been here yet, but it definitely slows you down when you have to keep going around things like this. And how you do that, like this one, you can't just climb over. You got to come through this stuff. And when you're wearing shorts, it hurts. You get all scratched up. But why do we do this? Look over here. Lake Superior. And barely see through the trees there, Split Rock Lighthouse. Unfortunately, I have to cross Highway 61 on this reroute and go on the Gillicuddy Trail. Oh, car's coming, car's coming, car's coming. Gotta run, gotta run, gotta run. All right. Yippee-ki-yay. Walking on pavement. But the good part is still quite a view. Made it to the campsite. Look who I found here. We also have the infamous Cass, aka Phoenix. As I said, my feet are destroyed. That, my friends, is what your feet look like after walking through mud for 32 miles.
Hi, little boys and girls.
So we had a very interesting day off trail. Fixed a flat tire, ate breakfast at an awesome cafe, and went to a winery. That's what we did today, and then we hiked into camp and met Almost over here.
2 whiners at a winery.
Seems appropriate.
So your legs aren't hurting.
My legs...
You hiked 2 miles opposed to 16.
Correct.
And drank wine. Did you have like a cheeseburger or a pizza for lunch too?
Did not. Nope.
Okay.
Thought about it.
Anyway, it was a hard day for me, not for them. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Say good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
On day 4, I walked back down the Split Rock River, turned south on the main trail, and passed Loaf Ridge and Blueberry Hill before taking the permanent reroute on the Gillicuddy Trail to Gooseberry Falls State Park. Good morning, everyone. It's an early morning. Woke up about 5:30 this morning. Got out of the hammock about 6. Packed up on the trail. It's about 7 o'clock this morning. Kind of excited to get home for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, including my mother, Jenny LaCroix. She is probably relaxing up in their RV up in Alexandria today. I'll have to give her a call on the way home. Maybe get home and treat my wife, the mother of my 3 daughters, when I get home. But we gotta walk before we can get home. Why are you walking that extra 7 miles from Split Rock State Park down to Gooseberry State Park when half of it is going to be a road walk? And the answer to that question is right behind me. It's Gooseberry Hill. Beautiful overlook of the lake. There's birds singing up here. It's a beautiful spot. right, having some quality time here on the road. Why I'm walking on the road is the trail was permanently closed between here and Gooseberry Falls because much of the Superior hiking trail is on private land. Rumor has it, the reason why this private property owner didn't want people hiking on it anymore is he had some of his friends there legally hunting on his land, and hikers came through and started criticizing and saying, "Oh, how can you shoot animals? You're such a terrible person." Seriously. Hunting and fishing is king here in Minnesota. I love hiking, but the culture is hunting and fishing. It's not like they're in Africa shooting a lion or trying to get ivory off an elephant. They're shooting a deer or a bird and they're eating it. Okay, there's a purpose behind it. I'd much rather be a deer out here enjoying life and catch a surprise bullet than be a cow locked up. You like that hamburger and that steak, I bet, don't you? All right. If you don't like hunting, go rent Bambi. Toughen up a little bit. And you know what? Take your tofu-loving man bun back to Uptown. Thank you. Have I mentioned I haven't eaten breakfast this morning? A little hangry. All right, animal lovers. I am on Highway 61. And I get the privilege of hiking again on the Gillicuddy bike trail, paved bike trail. Awesome trail for biking. Awesome trail for walking. Not so much when you go on a backpacking trip, but hey, it's about 2.1 miles up to the visitor center. Got another mile and a half after that to get to my car. And then I'm thinking a good cheeseburger made from an animal would be tasty. Hit the doors! Lake Superior. I loved you from afar, now from close up. It was a great hike. Learned lots of new things besides the spectacular scenery of the Superior hiking trail. Tried out a new ring fly. I'm shooting this video on my iPhone XR. Tell me if you like the quality of this video versus the quality on my old camera. Go ahead and like some videos, subscribe. I have lots of videos on the Superior hiking trail and other trails. So, another great trip, man. We'll see you on the trail. Yeah, I'd like the big bag combo with strawberry lemonade.